Hello and welcome to coverage of round 3 in the Crossplay Division 1. We're at Suzuka today, and I am Gareth Allen. Joining with me today is Alfie. Welcome to the stream, Alfie.
Hello everyone, I'm back after a few weeks now. It's been a long time and I hope everyone enjoys the race tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one with us being at Suzuka. And just before we go into the race, I think we've got almost everyone in the lobby. We'll quickly go over the driver's standings, which, I mean, those ones there are out of date, actually. So I'll just quickly find the driving standings on here. Ignore the ones on screen. I'll read out the ones that are actually correct. And it is 46 points Jamie Mells actually leads by. OP Roby is not in second, it is Wildy in second place with 38. Noddy has 27 points in third place. Ecstasy is in fourth place with 25, and OP Roby is in fifth place. And then let's move over to the constructors, and the constructors are also incorrect. So the constructors are way out of date. I don't know what's happened to these standings, but basically McLaren lead with 71, Williams with 37, Ferrari with 36. So it's quite close behind, but McLaren have an absolute haul of points at this part of the championship. And yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. Have you been managing to watch along with Division 1, Alfie?
Well, not much in the recent times, but I'm going to watch them tonight finally after a bit longer than usual. So yeah, I'm excited for tonight. Let's see what the boys can do.
Yeah, absolutely. We have the...
See if McLaren...
What was that, sorry, Alfie?
See if McLaren can extend the championship gap at the top.
Yeah, I think they'll be hard pressed to. I think there's only one member here from McLaren. Of course, it's usually Jamie Mells also here, but I don't think Jamie Mells has turned up. So our championship leader isn't here today. At least they aren't part of the lobby at this moment in time. Maybe they'll join during qualifying, but it'll be a good chance for the Williams and Ferrari teams to come and grab some points. Of course, Ali, I don't think attended last weekend, and I don't think he's here today at this point in time. So Ali not attending the third race this season. Of course, our championship winner last time out. In the first season of Crossplay, and just Ali and me are in. Oh, okay, you are in. So yes, so Ferrari have a good chance to get some points in. We're at Suzuka. We're going to have a 50%, so it's going to be 27 laps at Suzuka, and we'll have 18 minutes of qualifying to start us off. We have a lobby countdown to start time. I don't know what this is quite about, but I don't think is this a new feature since the patch? I'm not totally sure, to be honest. But yeah, we have the session starting now, and I think okay. So we do actually have last 35 seconds off the clock there, which usually indicates there's a few lobby issues, but I'm sure we'll get by them. And what do you expect time-wise at Suzuka? Track time-wise, that is.
Yesterday we got a 29.7 from Rowley in ExA Division 2, so I'm expecting at least I don't know, maybe a low 20, 29, high 28. Right, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, well, I've got a predicted pole time of 1:29 flat, somewhere around there. If someone can dip into the 1:28s, they deserve it, right? I think we did see that happen just a little bit in the Choco League on Saturday when it was on. And El Turco saying hello to everyone, and Wildy's also popping up in chat. And Ali is here, so yeah, in sixth position, Ali is there. And a lot of cars going out on track. It will be Lipix, the Haas driver, who will be the first car to set a lap. He's only just going through the first sector on their outlap at this stage in time, so have certainly got quite a bit of track time until they go through. And it's such a tricky track. How do you find this track to drive, Alfie?
Well, yesterday it was very hard to get the corners right, especially the S-curves. It is so hard just to get back on the power with the traction and yeah, you need to time it to perfection at all times, really. So best of luck to the drivers in the S section. So yeah, it's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, it's very make or break for your lap. At least if you feel like you're behind through the S curves, then you know you're not on a lap here. You can kind of abort it and maybe just try and save your tyres and go for another lap. But we'll have probably 2 or 3 laps from the drivers in this qualifying session as Leipzig comes through Spoon Curve for the first time today, and down towards the hill, and then back up it straight away towards 130R as it crosses over the track. And we'll ride on board with Leipzig for his lap of this historic circuit. And let's go on board as he comes to Casio and lines up his lap. He takes out those bollards for good measure. They're usually gone by the early parts, and they're already gone. And Leipzig goes all the way to the outside to extend the corner as much as possible to build up as much speed as he heads into turn 1. It will all be about commitment, this first section, throwing it into turn 1 and seeing where the grip is in the early parts of this qualifying session. And there isn't much grip, clearly, as he spun the car out of turn 2, and that will be this lap aborted for him. So we'll go towards Liam Stevens, who is I believe just doing a reserve role tonight in the McLaren, and now he comes to turn 1 and throws it in. Can he keep it calm and collected through the second part of that corner? He can. So on to turn 3 and the S-curves, as Alfie said, very tricky to get right, all about balancing patience and throttle control all the way through that section to get a good lap time, and out through the Dunlop curves towards Degner 1, where we'll have the sector 1 split. It's a 32.403 for Liam through there. So out of the Degner curves, named after Ernst Degner, who had the first motorbike crash here at Japan, the Suzuka circuit, back in 1962. And out of the hairpin now, another corner that's very tricky on traction out of there. All right for Liam through there. So ups through turns 11, 12, and towards 13, which is the entry to the Spoon Curve, and then we have turns 14 that lead all the way down to 130R, which is of course 130 radius. Used to be quite a challenging corner, now it's easy flat out in the modern Formula 1 car. It's a 1:12.480 through the middle sector, and he will be the first car to set a lap time as he comes and breaks at Casio, of course, where we saw Ayrton Senna and Alan Prost have that famous moment back in 1989. He hugs all the way up the inside of the last curve and down. It's a 1:29.114, so almost straight away on the pace from Liam Stevens, and it felt like a very clean and concise lap. So who else is on a lap out there at the moment? There is the AlphaTauri of TTV Jetties. He's on an out lap. The Aston Martin of Robin has just gone up into second position at 1:29.479. And we have some more times coming through. Opie Roby dipping into the 1:28. So that is very, very quick time, isn't it, Alfie?
Yes, so as he's coming through the S section now, it's just the traction. He's getting it all right at the moment. We'll see what his first sector is for now. And his first sector is saying it's purple, but it's definitely not. So yeah, we can confirm on that.
Yeah, it's 33.982, so not purple through there. And it's actually the Aston Martin of Serdar who actually set the purple's first sector as it stands. But not the Serdar, sorry, it must be someone else. It must be Serdar. He set a first purple sector according to Time Machines, but that's not the case because he's in the pits, unless he's gone into the pits after bailing from the first sector. But who else is setting lap times here? Timo Kuipers, who was away last week, however, he is back in the Mercedes team looking to pick up some big points, and he's gone up to 1:29.957. Issue and Noddy have set lap times, but they aren't competitive lap times, are they?
No, not competitive to Roby's lap time, but there's an Aston Martin out on track without a front wing, which is RPM_Robin, and he's running without a front wing out on the track. He's obviously gonna let people through, but I'd dive straight into the pits if I was him, and I'd imagine so if he was to dive in the pits.
Yep, LH44's just gone up into 4th position, 129.704, which is just under a second off the pace of the time that's been set by Roby in these early parts of the qualifying session. Of course, sitting down in 5th position in the championship, and wasn't here last week, so it could be a good chance for Roby to pick up some points against Jamie Mells, who hasn't made it into the Grand Prix as of yet. We have 15 runners in this qualifying session with 11 minutes left on the board. Noddy's just gone up and put in a 1:30.126. So I think that was on a second lap old pair of soft tyres. And Noddy there, so he's done 2 laps on that tyre. So clearly making a mistake on their first lap and improving the time up to a 1:30.126. So it's respectable. But in this Division 1 league, you have some supreme pace at the top. Liam Stevens looks like he'd done an absolute steal of a lap on his first time round, but it was Opie Roby who came and trumped in, dipping into the 1:28s. And how important do you feel track position is at this circuit, Alfie?
I think it's going to be really important. It's really hard to overtake at Suzuka, especially in most of the corners, I'd say. In the S section, me and Paul Diver made it look pretty easy yesterday with going wheel to wheel at the S section. So, yeah, it's going to be very hard to overtake around here, but there's a lot of DRS zones, so look, not a lot. I'd say, well, there's only one, isn't there? I just forgot. So there's only one overtaking opportunity, and it's into turns 1 and 2. So, yeah, unless you've got that ERS, you'll have some straight line speed into 130R.
Yeah, and Lethal Sniper's just gone up, topping the timing page at 1:28.688. Rowley saying that his pole time was 4 tenths faster yesterday. So, was he pole yesterday? I didn't know that, but yeah. So clearly a 1:28, mid 1:28 is what these drivers will be looking for, and there's still shack time out there as Liam Stevens will start his second lap. We also have the Ferrari of Ali, who's on an outlap at the moment. He's coming around Spoon Curve, and we have Timo Kuipers in the Mercedes also coming around Spoon at the moment and heading towards 130 hours, just warming up his tyres. The Anon in the Alpha Tauri is in 11th and has set a lap time at 2:06.69. Must have made a mistake on their lap, aborted the lap, and yeah, they will be going faster. Stone Knight, I believe, is on a lap at the moment, and he's currently sitting down at the bottom of the field because he hasn't set a lap. It was a 32.881 through the first sector, and he will come around the final corner of the second sector now. Spoon Curve, the tricky double left-hander, which is all about balancing the throttle application on the exit and getting the car rotated correctly, and it's a decent time through the middle sector, 40.326 for the Red Bull driver, who is usually in the second division, right? I think he scored well yesterday. I think maybe 5th in D2 yesterday. It was a surprise he took maybe a surprise win in D2. It's a 1:30.46 for Stone, so up to 9th position, so a decent lap for the Division 2 driver there, and I think he'll be happy with that. It's Liam Stevens who's coming to the line now, and it does improve their time but doesn't improve their position, only good enough to maintain 3rd position. Opie Roby is coming around the final corner now to start a lap, so he won't be improving this time around, and it's Noddy who I think is returning to pits, and he's absolutely thrown it into the pits, and Ali, who is coming towards 130R through the middle sector. Ali has set a 39.991, so this is a decent time. Just gets a little bit too deep on the entry in the first part of Casio, and then a little twitch as he comes through the last curve, but it's a 1:29.149. Oh, I feel like that could have been fastest provisional pole if he'd kept it a bit tidier through that final sector, and yeah, he was a few tenths off the best lap time through that final sector, so that could have been certainly into the 118s and good enough for the top 3, maybe a little bit too far away from the Lethal Sniper, as I think Anon has just improved their time as well. So Anon improving their time out there. Robin in 7th position, he is not on a lap, he is almost off the track actually, where I'm riding on board with him. And we have the Ferrari of Wildy crossing the line now, and doesn't improve their time, I don't think. So maybe on an outlap, and must be an outlap because just starting the lap rather, because they have a full lot of deployment here. So to talk us through the Ferrari car, the Ferrari of Wildy on this lap, Alfie.
So he's just got a big snap of oversteer there, but anyway, he's going to come round the final part of the S section into the final part of the first sector, into the right-handers, and he's just improved, I think, in his first sector. I didn't really see there as he's now coming through into the hairpin. Can he get a very good exit out the hairpin? That is the main question. He got a fairly decent exit out of the hairpin as he's now going to come down into the corners into Spoon Curve. So now he's going to come through Spoon Curve and then down the straight into 130R to finish his middle sector, and then obviously the little chicane, and then around the final corner. But he's still got a lap. He's still got a lap to do.
Yeah, so coming from the final sector now, he's 5 tenths up on his personal best, and he was only just slightly up through the first sector, so he's found a big chunk of time through that second sector. And as he heads down around the last curve, it is going to be a 128.998, so just creeping into the 128s there for the Ferrari of Wildy. I think he'll be very happy with that time, especially with the mistakes he made through the first sector. That shows he has pace to fight for pole position in the last part of this qualifying session, as we see a few more cars head out there on laps. Noddy is actually coming through the middle sector, the final sector actually, and he is just about to start a lap. We have a Williams car of Lethal who is currently on provisional pole, and he's gone 1.5 tenths up in the first sector, which is absolutely fastest. He already had the fastest time through the first sector. Lethal Sniper goes 4 tenths faster through the middle sector, and it takes 2 tenths of time through the middle sector. So coming to the final couple of corners, if he can keep this neat and tidy, the Williams driver may be extending their grip on provisional pole in this qualifying session for ExPlay Division 1 at Suzuka, and he does improve his time, but not an absolute best final sector, actually losing just a couple of hundredths of time in the final sector there, but still more than decent enough to hold provisional pole by 4 tenths to his nearest rival, which is OP Roby. So good stuff from Lethal.
Yeah, very good stuff there from the Williams. As now I'm looking at Timo Coopers, who's just about to start a lap in the Mercedes. He's coming around the final corner. He's going to get that rear wing open, and he's going to take the wider line so he can get the best out of his lap. Yeah, he's got that rear wing wide open, and he's going to go right into turn 1 into the S section. Can he get the traction right with all the dangerous curves? He's touching the curves pretty nicely, and yeah, it's looking like a very good first sector here from the Mercedes, as he's now going to come round the final corner of the S section and now into the final part of the first sector. And he's 5 tenths up on his first sector. Will he improve? That is the main question.
Yeah, so a really, really nice tidy sector from Timo Kuipers here. And as you said, it was very, very aggressive on the curb. It was so difficult around that first section, mainly because those curves are particularly icy, a little bit better in F122 than they were in 2021, where you couldn't go near them with a barge pole. But oh, he's just carried a bit too much speed into the first part of Spoon there, and he's managed to keep the lap from invalidating by probably losing a bit too much time around the Spoon curve. But we'll see if Timo has improved still. He still opens up the gap there, so there's time on the board for him. He currently sits for a 129.957. If he can just hook up these final couple of corners, if we see yellow flags being waved on track as he comes around the final corner, it is going to be a 129.300. So a good time into 6th position for the Mercedes driver. Who is next up? I think Robin is also on the lap as it speaks, and he's was up through the first sector, slightly down on his best time through the second sector, and as he comes towards the line, it's a 129.2 2:08, so improves his time and does just nick 6th position off of Timo Kuipers. That pushes Timo down into 7th position. Roby is currently out there and coming to the final set of corners, but he is not on a time. So he must be on an outlap yet. 3 minutes and 55 second outlap. That proves that. And we have LH44 pushing around the final corner, and he improves his time a little. No, he's starting a lap. He's also starting a lap. So no improvement from him. Sadar in 12th position at the moment is going 5/10 quicker through the first couple of sectors. He's found a big chunk of time through the first sector, and can he find any time through this final sector? It's he finds a couple of attempts, but such was the gap already that he only actually climbs a singular place as he crosses the line. And we have laps coming in all the time. We have the Ferrari driver of Ali, who is coming towards the line. He's just about to start a lap. Wildy also just about to start a lap. So are the AlphaTauri drivers of Anon. And Jet has just started a lap, I believe. So we have the final moments of qualifying here. Who do you think is going to take pole position, Alfie?
Roby has aborted his lap, so that looks like his qualifying is done and dusted. I don't think he's got an end plate. Unless he does. Let's have a look. No, I don't think he has an end plate. So I think Lethal, I think he will definitely take pole. He's definitely going to get another lap in. So will it be 27's the shock here for tonight? So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, so the checkered flag has been waved. We've had Istio and Stone Knight, Lipix and Roby. They've all set the best times they can do. LH44 is going to be the next car to come around to the line, and they do improve up to 9th. That puts Sedar down into 10th position. The McLaren of Liam Stevens is 2.5 tenths up through the first and second sectors. Can Liam Stevens do anything here? It's a 1:28.694, so into second position, and good time gained throughout the lap there. TTV Jetters is coming to the line, does improve their time, but nowhere near on the pace required to come anywhere near the bottom of this pack. Cedar goes into the pits, and it will be OP Roby also returning to the pits. Quite a few cars returning to the pits here as Ali is coming around the final corners. He's also returning to pits, so also aborting his lap. Not found any time. It's 4th and 5th for the Ferrari cars as things stand. Wildy is on a lap and has improved about 3 tenths through the middle first and middle sector, coming around the final set of corners. Can he do anything to knock into the top 3 here? He crosses over the line and it's into 3rd position. That pushes OP Roby down. And next over the line is Timo Kuipers, who pushes Ali down into 6th, and he slots into 5th position. And I think that is potentially it. I think that is all of the runners that are going to run today. So that is it. So it was the Lethal Sniper who got got pole position in the end there from the second place quick runner of who was the McLaren driver? Liam Stevens. I always called him Jack Stevens. Wildy in 3rd, so good for the Ferrari team, and Liam Stevens picking up decent points for the McLaren team in the absence of Jamie Mells. And who is the other McLaren driver? Maybe Ecstasy is the other McLaren driver. So yes, some good pace there shown, and thank you very much for the follow, Calyx. Appreciate that. Takes us to 195 followers. I'd absolutely love it if we somehow reach 200 followers part of the stream, but no worries if we don't. And who do you think is going to show pace to win the race here, Alfie?
Well, we saw Lethal's qualifying pace, and yeah, he got pole by 3 tenths, but I can't see him winning. I don't think he will win. I think someone between 2nd and 4th will take the victory. I think it's all down to the race pace now. Who has got the best race pace? We'll see. But I think it's not going to be Lethal tonight. I think it's going to be between 2nd and 4th.
Yeah, absolutely. Lethal Sniper was very, very unlucky in the first round at Bahrain. He went into the pits and they put him on a pair of softs, and it was obvious that he was pitting for a pair of mediums with the rest of the pack. It was under safety car. Everyone pitted for mediums, and his team put him on a pair of softs, so he did damage limitation to get back into 5th position in that race. But he did look like he had the pace to win, so Lethal Sniper could maybe pull something out the bag and pull a gap, but there are competitive cars of Wildy, Roby. We saw Ali miss out on a lap, and we also saw Stevens pick up a good lap there. I don't know if we're going to have a formation lap here, so I'll prepare for the start of the race just in case it is going to be a start of the race. You said it. Is there a formation lap? No. One light, two lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5. Oh, and there's a long pause, and the ExA Division 1 go racing at Japan, and it's a good start from Liam Stevens, who gets well alongside Lethal Sniper into turn 1, but Lethal Sniper absolutely throws it in and hangs onto that position very nicely. Meanwhile, Roby is trying to move up on Wildy, and there's contact between the Ferrari and the Haas, and Roby is out of the race at the end of the third corner, and there's a safety car out. Is that a full safety car or a virtual safety car? Just a virtual, but there was contact. It is a full safety car. It's been upgraded, and it was contact between the Ferrari and Haas car that's left Roby stricken in the wall after just 3 corners in this race. Did you get a good view of that?
Yeah, I think someone tagged him, and then he just ended up in the wall with his rear tyres just flying off. So, yeah, it's unlucky for the Haas driver, who's got to end this night very early. Yeah,
takes an early bath and will be off to the press pen early to soak up, probably quite fuming from that incident. I didn't quite see how it was going. Just 2 cars battling for position at the start of this race, and contact between the 2. We'll see what Wildy thinks of that one after the race. But the big gainers in this race is LH44, who gained 3 positions off the line. He got into 5th position, and the big loser, you would say, is Anon, who lost 5 places at the start, and Roby, of course, who ended up in the wall, bringing out the safety car at the start of the race. So we have also, let's have a quick check on the tyres that people are on. So only hards and mediums have been selected, which isn't unsurprising, as the soft tyre will go off very, very quickly, and the Lethal Sniper is on a pair of hard tyres, so he will be suffering pace-wise at the start of this race, but we'll know that the medium tyre can be put on late on in the race. And actually, if you get past the kind of 5 to 6 lap range, you can hear him absolutely trying to burn fuel as he maxes out 6th gear. That's a fuel saving technique that's being deployed by him, not a glitch by Codemasters, which is thankful. He'll certainly not have to pace in the early stage, but maybe 5 laps in he'll be able to pull away from that medium runner and get the benefit of going onto the medium tyres. We actually see the predicted stop strategies here. Medium runners will run to about laps 12 to 15 before switching to the hard compound tyre. And I wonder if anyone has gone into pits. And actually, Robin has gone into pits. So I don't know if they picked up any kind of damage there, but Robin has come out the pits here. So do you think it would be worth maybe a medium runner running at the back like TTV Jetters to switch to the hard and get that tyre compound out of the way? What would you do if in that situation at the back? Would you stay on the compound you're on, or would you switch to a different tyre at this stage of the race?
Well, I'd stay on the same compound because it's still a bit too early to change. Obviously, you can make the overtakes and stuff. You're going to be on the faster tyre, so why not make up a few positions at the start? You're only at the start of the race, so anything can happen.
We're in broadcast. Right, okay. So,
right,
oopsie.
Okay.
That may anger a few people in the race, but we're on broadcast settings, so it's not the end of the world. That will at least 1-2 skip a few in the incident, and hopefully we won't see any kind of switching of places. And we do actually. As I was saying, we hope we don't see it. We see it. Yeah. Lethal Snapper loses 3 positions behind safety car, so I don't know what people think of this one. Lethal Sniper.
Unless Lethal's boxing, that's the problem.
Has he boxed? I don't think he's. I think he's out there on track.
That is kind of my fault because I was setting up the lobby. I'm sorry, everyone, about that.
Well, we'll see if anything's been said about that in the chat. Of course, Matteo will be all over it. Some people asking if there's going to be a restart, and I think we'll have the restart the race and we'll commentate it. Yes, right, there is a restart, so there is going to be a restart in play. So we had the wrong settings on, but at least we found out early on, and we're going to have a restart at the beginning of the race. So that will give AP Roby the opportunity to rejoin, I believe. Liam Stevens is absolutely gunning it, but I think cars will realise it's a restart. El Turco asking in chat what happened. What happened was a broadcast safety car which shouldn't have been on, and we see cars start to absolutely bin it into the wall. So we'll have a restart here, and I think Yalfa, you'll be in charge of getting that new one set up, won't you?
Yeah, that's completely my fault there. I'll put it on immersive. I remember, but yeah, I think yeah, there will be a restart. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, there is a restart to confirm. So you'll rebuild the lobby, and meanwhile I'll quickly just in the background try and get the graphics for the standings switch back over, because then we can go over that while you set that up, and that'll give you a moment to set that up. So the standings are there, so let's save that image. And save that image. So if you're watching along, we are restarting the lobby because the lobby settings were incorrect, and it happens sometimes. I'm sure it won't be the last time that it ever happens, and we can quickly switch back, and I will quit to the main menu, and we can quickly have a look at the standings now, which should have been updated on my side. Let's move that out of the way so I can actually put the mouse in the right position, and let's go over the standings in full. So it is Jamie Mells in first position, 46 points. They're not racing today. Wildy will be looking to close down that gap at the top of the championship to Jamie Mells. He started off well in that race, of course. We're having a restart at the moment. He's in second position. Noddy in third for very consistent driving. You wouldn't necessarily put him down to pace to be in the top 5 of this division, but he's been super consistent, not picking up penalties, and it's been some good driving from him. Ecstasy, unless that's Liam Stevens, I think Liam Stevens is someone else. So I don't think Roby is here today. Not Roby, Ecstasy. Roby is here today. And we saw, of course, some crash out in that little bit of a race we had there. Lethal Sniper in 6th position. They were leading the race. They've been doing well. Dunkler Mike in 7th, 8th for Evil Master, who isn't here. Sneaks isn't also here. 9th and 10th is the Dutch driver of Timo Kuipers. And we'll quickly switch over to the constructors. And the constructors of McLaren, they are, of course, leading the way quite massively. Williams in 2nd position, 37 points. They'll be looking to close that gap. So will Ferrari, 36 points, all scored by Wildy at the moment. Ali, our championship winner last time out, yet to score a point in this championship, having a bit of misfortune at Bahrain and not attending last Grand Prix at Jeddah last Wednesday. So he'll be looking to score some decent points today. Haas are in 4th position with 30 points. Aston Martin with 28 points. So yes, I believe you sent an invite to the lobby. Have you? Or is it just showing a notification in there for no reason? Yeah, I think it is. So yeah, let us know how that's going. And
just try to invite Matteo to the new lobby.
Right. Okay. I can read off some Suzuka facts while this happens. And one Suzuka fact is that the Ferrari and McLaren are the most successful team at Suzuka. They've both won 7 times apiece, but despite taking 5 victories in a row in the early noughties, 2000 to 2004, Ferrari have never won another Japanese Grand Prix, which really surprised me, actually, because of course they were dominant in the late noughties with in 2007 and 8, but of course they raced at Fuji then, and but it was still, they didn't win at Fuji, and it was, they had a decent car in 2010 to 2013 with Alonso, and then we also had heartache for Vettel in the Ferrari, and Vettel loves the Ferrari, loves Suzuka, and he still didn't pick up a win. So Leipzig says I'm slow compared to these Urs. Let's just say that. It's me with no assist, and TTV Robin says that was so weird. Yep, it was. So will you drop me an invite, Alfie, and then I'll be able to...
Yeah, I will do. I need to wait for Matteo to rejoin.
Yeah.
I'll send you another invite anyway. So yeah.
Yeah, and I can go over and help you set up the whatever settings need to be set up. So I did say I didn't care about any of them, but I said at the start, all I care about is weather. But of course we care about a lot more than that. So It was rules and flags. What was it last time? Immersive. Formation lap should be turned on, by the way, I think. Just because we didn't have that last time round. And pretty sure it should be, actually. Maybe it shouldn't. I could quickly watch back the last restart. Of course, we have all of our streams go up onto our YouTube video, our YouTube account, so we can have a quick look at Crossplay Division 1 and see if we had a formation lap last time. That's one way to find out, isn't it? I don't know if we did. I'm going to say we didn't, actually. I always think there should be a formation lap on. The formation lap gives everyone
I think it's just the glitches, that's the problem.
Yeah. So formation lap should be off because it was off last week, so that's correct. And yeah, we had the glitch with the timing start as well, so that was a bit strange. And then we're going to have to reform the grid. Do you have a view of who the grid will be?
I have no form at all, so yeah.
Well, I'm sure Matteo will let us know.
Isn't it on the stream somewhere, like the grid?
It will be, but I don't think it was clipped. So I don't know. You can replay Twitch live. It certainly was. I did make sure to grab it all.
Yeah, let me just have a look quick.
Yeah.
Just give me.
I tell you what, I do have somewhat of a grid because of my telemetry, so I can tell you there was an alpha. I can tell you all the teams, and we could do guesswork from there. But yeah, so I think it was, of course, Lethal Sniper who was on pole, and let's go to live results and let's actually show the details of that. So yeah, it's Lethal Sniper on pole, and then it was Liam Stevens in second. Third position was Roby. Third position was Wildy, and then Roby. And then the Mercedes of teammate Kuipers in fifth. But we'll wait for everyone to get in. So I think we can bluff most of our way through this because my telemetry tells me where people finished in the qualification session. So
I'm just trying to find a way how to. Hold on.
why was Robin disqualified from? Was Robin in 15th? Robin, you were in 15th. How did you get disqualified from qualifying? He's watching along.
Stopped on track or went the wrong way.
Right.
Well, I've just joined the call, so yeah.
What's that, sorry?
So, I've just joined back the call because it was playing off.
Right, okay. Alfie, you're new to this league. Hi Gav, I'm new to this league. Do you stream all the races? We try to. Is my best answer. I'm here every Wednesday trying to or streaming this one. I did stream the first 2 rounds of the second Crossplay division, but then I couldn't do the third one, and I don't think I could do the fourth or fifth going forward. So we are looking for commentators on Tuesdays. If you are interested in commentating, it's I'm sure Alfie will attest that it's a fun thing to do. If you're not part of the action, to get involved with ExA, we're always looking for new commentators. And yes, we try to. We have Chocolate Leagues on Saturday, which has been streamed every single race, and those are the only 3 leagues up at the moment. But yeah, follow the channel, and yeah, there'll be streams most days of the week. We've got the PlayStation League starting up again soon. So do you want me to read off the? Do we have everyone in? Because I think I could do a pretty good job. Thank you very much for follow, Alfie. Appreciate that. I could do a pretty decent job getting you the grid, I think.
Make sure you go into spectator mode as well.
Oh,
Just, preview.
what a shout. Didn't want to be driving in a Mercedes. Not on controller. No one wants to see that.
Oh.
What did you think of the World Cup action? Of course, the World Cup action is also streamed on the channel. It was on Monday. How did you find commentating the World Cup, Alfie?
It was pretty decent. Some parts very boring, but some parts, a bit actiony. But like overall, it was pretty good and clean racing. So I'm really happy for the guys.
Yeah, it was a mixture of skill levels in there. I think sometimes with only 8 people in a lobby, it can fall a bit flat. But other times, there was, from what I watched, there was some really good racing on track. Especially that Gareth Allen person, he was having a good race. But so who is in the lobby here? We had 15 people in the race beforehand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Right, okay. So we can do the grid. So do you want me to? Should we have a stab at the grid here? I think I've got a list. Yeah, but it's going to have to be a little bit of guesswork. And then if Matteo needs to go spectator as well, apparently. Is Matteo not here yet? No, he's.
Matteo is here.
Yeah, so I can give you a list. Has Matteo sent you a list, by any chance?
Yes, he has.
Of the lobby. All right, okay, that's good. Right. Robin.
Need to
Adjust the grid.
Sort out the grid.
Yep.
And you can read it out as well if you want.
Yeah, has he sent it to us? Oh, right, excellent. Yes, right, okay, so good. That is a good thing about this telemetry. You can quickly just build a grid and get the order. So, so it's Lethal Sniper in first position for the Williams team.
So, Lethal Sniper.
Yep. Ecstasy in second, so Liam Stevens. That must be Ecstasy. Racing under his proper name.
That is Liam Stevens.
Yeah. Wildy is in third position.
If I can find Liam Stevens, that's it. And Wildy
in third.
OP Roby.
Yep. Kuipers was in fifth. Timo Kuipers.
Yeah. Just Style.
Yep.
Or Alan.
And on the seventh.
The Alpha out. Let's have a look. If I can find. Yeah, there we are.
AlphaTauri of Anon.
LH44.
Yeah, LH44 in the Mercedes started in 8th position, starting in 8th. Robin in 9th.
10.
Is Robin in 9th?
Yeah, it says on the grid.
Yeah, Robin says disqualified on my side, and that's what ExA Matteo is saying at the bottom. So I thought it was.
The last one is C though. So.
Okay, yeah. No, this is garbled up. So show details, and it was it's Robin. So in 9th position was an Aston. In 8th position was the other Mercedes in my head. But maybe not. In 9th position was the other Aston Martin. But we'll have to see. I don't think that's quite right myself. But we'll just have to go with the one that Matteo has provided. I'm just going to message him.
Jetta, I think that's it.
So read it out to me.
Picture. Just quickly.
Yeah.
And then we should be back underway.
Robin said he was. So Robin's saying he was DSQ'd.
Yeah, I think it's just because of the game.
So
stupid as usual.
I think no. So I think Robin is in last place. I think it's Serdar who is in 9th position. And have you got Serdar in last at the moment?
Yeah.
So Serdar is in 9th position. I'm pretty sure. And I think the telemetry used sometimes just picks people up. So Robin says I spun back and went backwards because I thought it ended. Pretty stupid. Right, okay. Yeah, so he got disqualified.
Send a picture to the staff.
So I think just ninth position is Serdar, and I think Robin is at the back of the grid. I think that those are the only two you need to switch. I know what Matteo sent.
Just left.
Who left? So Robio was last and Serdar ninth.
Robin was last, yeah.
Yeah, so I have no idea who just left. It probably was. Serdar has just left. So
everyone gets a free position then.
Well, yeah, let's just double check with Matteo. And then we can get going. Is he joining back? We'll find out if he's joining back. And if not, we can just go in like a couple of minutes, I reckon. And then that's safe enough. Serdar, did he put anything in chat? Serdar saying, can you invite me? So Serdar does need to invite back, and then Serdar can be put into ninth. So once Serdar rejoins, he can be put into ninth. Robin can be put into 15th position, and then then we can have the race start. So
right, okay, Serdar ninth. Right, I'm just gonna make sure that I've got everything. Because knowing me, I'm clueless at times, and
just send.
Yeah, right. Safety car, immersive. Yeah. Strip corner, put instructors. Assist. Yeah, all fine.
Yep.
Weather. Do you think weather should be clear because it was last time?
Yeah, do it. It was last time. We'll make a judgment call, and we can beg for forgiveness, can't we? I think it should be clear. So yeah.
Realistic.
I can
That should be everything.
I can just double check that it was going to stay dry. Forecast, it had like 10% chance of rain, so I wouldn't have. Yeah, I wouldn't worry. I'd set it to dry. So yeah, I think we're ready. I think we are ready. So I think Matteo usually makes the ready up call, and we can say we're ready, and I'll drop a message to Matteo saying
I think someone's just left again.
Who's left?
I don't know.
TTV.
It's not Cedar.
Littell isn't here. No, Littell's it. He's here.
Missing.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, Wildy's gone.
Wildy's gone.
Yeah.
And someone else just left as well. Why are people leaving? Thank you very much for the follow, Robin. Appreciate that one, and I appreciate the honesty as well, because we almost gave you a free position, and you came out on top of that one. And why are people leaving? If Wildy's left, which is a shame. Liam Stevens is in a Ferrari, so I think that's incorrect. Liam Stevens now in the McLaren. Roby's in the Ferrari. Why is Roby in the Ferrari? Roby shouldn't be in Haas.
Oh, what a miserable night.
So we lost drivers. Serdar says can't. I don't know why I didn't follow yet. I've been in this league since the beginning. Yeah, fair enough, pal. If everyone in the league was following, we'd have 500 followers, right? Because we just got 500 members in the Discord. Of course, if you're watching along for the first time, !league in the Discord chat, and I'll show you how that works. !league, and that shows you a link to our Discord. And yeah, of course, we have ! streamers as well. And so Wildy's saying they're out and will not race, so they run out of time clearly. And Dunkler Mike is jumping in, so they weren't here early. So Cedar's back. So Cedar in 9th, Dunkler Mike at the back of the grid. Well, actually Cedar will be in 8th now because he got moved up a place. But so move Cedar back into 8th position. then Dunkler at the back, and then we can go.
Right then.
Okay.
Miserable night.
No, it's all right. Is safety car on the right one this time? Yes, safety car is on the right one, and I can just double check that that's the case. Where is why is my controller not working now? Don't say that. Let me just restart my controller, and that isn't working, so I'll have to just have that enabled on here.
Matteo another pick.
You may just need to. Right, okay, I'm going to very quickly restart. So I'm going to have to restart my game because my game's just stopped working properly. So very quickly, just restarting my game, and you can send an invite in a second to me.
Yeah, just give me a second.
No. That's done the glitch again, hasn't it? I know it. Right, close that window. Very apologies if it's gone blank on stream. That's just me having to restart my game due to a glitch that I sometimes experience where my input goes really funny on a controller. So just restart. It's usually if I'm alt-tabbing a lot that it happens, and we should have the... So send me an invite now, and then I should be able to join before the start of the race.
Hold on, I should have another one. Yeah.
And please follow us on the socials if... so drop me an invite, will you? Alfie?
Hello?
Will you drop me an invite?
Yeah. Just give me this. Right. Oh, you know, I'm just going to put Robin 14th. Just give me a free position. Hold on.
Yeah, that's where he should be. Because Wildy left.
Yeah, let me just send you another invite and we can get underway yet again.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yep. Okay, I'll go spectator and ready to go.
Oh, finally.
Okay, we are ready, so let's go. Yeah.
Right, Mikey's going to be last anyway, so...
Yeah, because he didn't qualify. So he's lucky that he's even made it in. Wildy isn't joining, right? Because he said he's not racing anymore. Wildy's not joining. Robin said Wildy said he's not racing anymore. He ain't joining back. So we're all good. We can ready up. People ready up.
Come on, guys, ready up. Get your fingers and thumbs and ready up.
We'll have 27 laps of Japan coming up. So we do have a confirmation of start now, and people shouldn't forget their setups. Don't forget your setups. You'll regret it if you do. And Robin says he's going to do a 14th to 1st challenge today, very similar to Kimi Räikkönen, who I think started maybe 15th or 16th back in 2005, and of course overtook Giancarlo Fisichella on the last lap of the Grand Prix after carving his way through the field. and having a few lucky breaks with the safety cars. That was one of the most dramatic races in Japan. We had 1989, of course, with Prost and Senna coming together and Nannini taking the win after Senna was disqualified for gaining an advantage by crossing a track corner, which was calamitous. And that next year, 1990, Senna got his revenge on Prost by absolutely binning up the inside at turn 1. In recent years, we had Sebastian Vettel take his third world championship here. His second world championship here in 2011, and we had the race this year, which Max Verstappen won his championship. Found out he won the championship being told by Johnny Herbert, and I think no one wants to hear that you won the championship being told by Johnny Herbert. What an insult! But we will have the start of the race. Yeah, I really love F1, Alfie. It's that's all just from my head. That's all just from my head. But Suzuka is one of my favourite circuits, so I kind of know it the most. And we have waiting for players, so I think, yeah, we are. We have a start countdown, and we'll have the start of the race. So who do you think is going to win this one after seeing the qualifying session earlier, Alfie, quickly in 10 seconds?
Well, I think it's just going to be the same as I said. Between second and fourth, they're going to take the victory. No offence to... What's his name again?
Littell.
Yeah, that's it. I don't think he's going to win.
Out of balance, I'm gonna back Littell here. And the drivers begin to stare. We have 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5. And the ExA go racing in Japan. And there's a little bit of a delayed start, but it's a decent getaway again for Liam. But he just ducks behind, and actually it's Ecstasy who's under pressure here into turns 1 and 2, and they're going side by side. We saw this last time around when Roby was very, very close to the back of Wildy. Wildy, of course, not racing here after not rejoining us at the safety car after the red flag, and it was a decent start from Littell, and I think Timo Kuipers have made up a few places too.
Yeah, fairly decent start then for Littell, as he's 8 tenths up, or 7 tenths up now, 6 tenths, 7 tenths. Well, the gap just goes down, up, down every single second, so can't really say what the gap is, but as you can see, Roby is very close to that rear of Liam Stevens or Ecstasy, and yeah, the Haas really has a good shot down into 130R if you can get that straight on speed. He's on the hard, so yeah, it could be a tough challenge, but also Liam Stevens is also on the hard, so yeah, as you can see, he's using his overtake button into 130R. He just doesn't have that straight line speed whatsoever, so he's going to have to halt for another lap or two.
Yeah, all the top 6 running on hard tyres. We saw Ali make a move into the hairpin on that lap on Timo Kuipers, very opportunistic, and just put it up the inside, very Kobayashi-esque. Of course, made a number of overtakes through there, and it's Roby who's now looking down the inside of Liam Stevens. Ecstasy in the league standings, and into turn 1 he goes, and I think he backs out of that one. I think Liam Stevens had to use a bit of EOS to secure that position, and Little Sniper isn't exactly romping away with it at the sharp end of the grid, so there's a lot of pressure in the top 3. Roby still very, very close behind the McLaren driver as they come out the S sections and towards the Dunlop curve. It's going to be very difficult, I think, here for Liam to hold off Roby unless he can keep within that DRS window of Lethal Sniper ahead, and currently it's only a 6/10 gap. Further down the field, you have LH44 on the medium tyres having a look at Anon into the hairpin. Will he go for a late move here? Does gain a little bit of time into the hairpin. And does he have a better drive on the exit? I think it's usually the outside, which has a better exit. And a big moment for Anon. Big squirrely moment there. And actually, LH44 couldn't make gains out of that, and it's actually Sadar who actually nearly gets past the Mercedes driver, but actually all the drivers just thinking better of it, and some good self-preservation in the early stages of this race. Meanwhile, Roby back at the front, very close to the back end of Ecstasy, as Ecstasy runs wide through 130 yards. That gives Roby the opportunity to go a long way around at Casio, and he does get the job done using every little bit of curb there, and Kuipers picks up a penalty through the final couple of corners. Yes, so Wu is close down the field. So Serdar is in 8th position, very close to the back of LH44. LH44 also close to the back of Anon. And Anon, there we are. We saw him make a mistake a couple of, just half a lap ago. And there we go. He makes another big mistake out of turns 2, losing traction out of the corner. Of course, no traction control allowed in Division 1. So very, very tricky on traction, and that has caught Anon out in this this session. And it's Ali who is in 4th position. Serdar and LH44 both gain a place, but Timo Kuipers has managed to keep Ali honest, and Ali will be under pressure because he's not within the second gap of DRS up front. OP Roby has gapped Liam Stevens just a little bit here, and could be out of DRS range by the time they reach the start-finish straight. Of course, the only section of the track with the DRS flap, of course, gives you a little less drag down the straight and allows passing cars to overtake as long as they're within 1 second. And it's very imperative to stay within 1 second around here, because if you lose the train, you lose big lumps of time each lap, and you have to burn ERS to get back into it, and that can put pay to any kind of race hopes you have. How are you finding Southie?
Well, I'm still looking at Roby, and yeah, he seems to be losing time to Lethal, so it could be the Lethal win here. Hopefully no commentator's curse comes into play, but yeah, my prediction was 2nd to 4th to overtake Lethal into turn 1, but it just doesn't seem like that at the moment. Roby just can't even catch up to him. I think it's going to have to be the case of the undercut here from Haas, so yeah, that would be very strategic. But that's if the undercut works around this track, and I'm guessing it doesn't work that well, as we saw from ExA D2 yesterday. And yeah, it's going to have to be a real tough task for 2nd and 3rd just to catch up to Lethal. So yeah, they've got a big job on their hands.
Yeah, all the top 5 cars at the moment are running that hard tyre. Issue, I think, has lost a couple of places somewhere, because I think he was running in the top 6 until quite recently. But is it Issue who's lost place, or maybe Anon actually? Probably Anon who lost places. So we saw that, of course, happen in front of us. And Serdar has got past LH44 as well on that last lap. And what makes it tricky for the hard runners is that if there's an early safety car, those on medium compound will be able to pit for a set of hards, and then if there's no other safety car, then that's a big lot of time you've got to gain to break the kind of pit barrier in the race. And who is close by at the moment? OP Roby is keeping the pressure high on Lethal Sniper, but Roby has used up nearly all of his ERS to stick with the lead car. So Lethal Sniper looks very calm and collected as things stand, and he's put an impressive display here. Now he could just use a little bit of that ERS to break the gap and start pulling a gap on Roby. So I think Lethal Sniper, if he's got any race engineer, would be being told to push now, because he certainly has an opportunity to break that 1 second window and escape the DRS. Ali running in 4th position. He's about 2.5 seconds behind the leading trio. The Ferrari driving, hoping to pick up some points and close down the Constructors' Championship of McLaren. But there's only one McLaren and one Ferrari in the race today. So it's unlikely that without a little bit of help from some luck going his way, that Ferrari will be able to close down that gap at the top of the Constructors' Championship. A reminder that it is 71 points McLaren have back to the Ferrari's 36 points, who own 3rd place Ferrari. So it's been a good start of the season, and actually the good thing for Ali is he has a bit of ERS. Roby and Ecstasy, Liam Stevens in 3rd position, they haven't got any ERS, so they have absolutely spanked their ERS to stay within 1 second of the cars ahead.
Yeah, a few laps ago as well, I saw Roby cut in a few corners. Not too much, but like just going a bit over the limit. I think that's why he gained a bit of time onto the straight. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on him. Hopefully he doesn't have many warnings to go. He probably has 2 already, so he's going to have to keep it on the limit, and he's going to have to take it. He's just got a big snap of oversteer. coming out of the exit of the S section. So he's got to be very careful on this one.
Absolutely. We have 6 laps done of this Grand Prix. Of course, had the red flag after the lobby went skew whiff in the first race, and it's Lethal Sniper who is definitely in a position to pull away from the cars behind and looks very, very close to breaking that DRS window. LH44 is a car we ride on board with at the moment, and he is in 7th position. He's fallen out of the DRS zone of Sadar, and Sadar is actually doing very well on those medium tyres here to keep up with the hard compound tyres, because those mediums are going to be on the precipice of starting to lose track time compared to the hard compound. The hard compound, of course, more durable, meaning you can push them for longer, but they may not have the absolute pace compared to the medium tyres, but the medium tyres start to go off probably about lap 12 in 100%, and of course we on a 50%, so this is about lap 6 and 7 where they start to fall off a cliff. But actually Sadar has got very close to the back of Timo Kuipers, and Timo Kuipers may be under a bit of pressure into turn 1. The gap closes, only for about a tenth and a half, and Sadar does the sensible thing of braking a little bit earlier to not get caught off guard by Kuipers braking early, and Kuipers in 5th position, absolutely trying to put the pressure on Ali. Ali has the courtesy of not having a penalty at this stage of the race. Let's switch over to penalties. It's 3 seconds for the Mercedes driver of Kuipers, and the Aston Martin of Robin, who boldly claimed before the race that he's going to go 14th to 1st. Well, he's managed to gain 1 position so far, but I think he's going to have to pull something out the bag here to get all the way back up to the top here. So I don't think Robin quite has it in hand to do that, unless miraculously there's a 12-car pile-up in front of him. That may be a bit out of reach for the Aston Martin driver. Lethal Sniper at the front of the grid has broke that 1 second gap and has started to use a bit of ERS to box, to push compared to the cars behind, and that will create a bit of a gap. Now that he doesn't have DRS, Roby won't get that free lap time into turn 1 each lap compared to Lethal Sniper, because he would have the DRS, and Lethal hasn't had the DRS so far in this race, leading from pole position, and leading every lap. Let's see if he can hold on for the rest of this race. It's Sadar in 6th position, very close behind Timo, and Timo quite close behind Ali. Actually, Issue is the closest on track, very close to the back of LH44. Coming into turn 1, Issue takes the inside line into the fast right-hander, and he looks like to have got the overtake completed into turn 2. Job done. Next car up the road to him is Sadar, and he is on those medium tyres, which will start to drop off, and he's not quite as close to Timo Kuipers on this lap, so I believe his pace is just falling away very slightly.
Yeah, so the mediums will drop off slowly but surely. It's just gone a bit wide, Sadar, and there's a yellow flag in sector 3. It's a Haas of Lipix, I'm pretty sure, and yeah, it was Lipix, and he's going to start his 8th lap. But yeah, Lethal just dominating at the minute. I doubted him coming into this race, but things can change all of a sudden over the course of the race, so you never know. He's led every lap, even when the red flag was around. He led before the red flag. He's leading after the red flag, so yeah, the Williams is holding off strong here. There's a yellow flag in sector 1. It's Lipix yet again. Down in P14, he's gone for a spin at the S section. Probably spun on a curb. Speaking of the dangerous curbs at Suzuka.
Yeah, very difficult around here, especially once you've overheated the tyres, to bring that back down the tyre temps. Very difficult to do so. Multiple pirouettes for the Haasman in 14th position. Roby last time around was a 3/10 of a second slower than the Lethal Sniper. So Lethal Sniper being able to extend that gap nicely at the front of the field for the Williams team. Currently sitting in 2nd in the championship, Williams. So this is a chance for Lethal to close down on the lead of the championship. Actually, 25 points plus fastest lap plus qualifying would put him into the lead of the championship, because Lethal Sniper currently has 13 and it is 46 points Jamie Mells is on, of course not racing today. That would be 27 points. No, it wouldn't. It would put him in with 40 points in second position in the championship. So ignore what I was saying, but this is good pace from Lethal Sniper at the moment to do something. And actually, I think OP Roby's had a bit of a mistake because he's certainly under pressure from Liam Stevens at the front of the grid here, and the gap has extended massively. And we'll have to keep an eye out on that lap time. But I think he's made a bit of a moment, and Liam Stevens and Ali have both caught up. So that would suggest that Roby's made a mistake, recovered, and slowed down the McLaren driver of Ecstasy. And right, okay, I don't know what to do with that, but I guess, yeah, tell Matteo. I don't know. Leipzig saying damage is off apparently, but I don't know if it is or not, or whether Leipzig was just lucky. But we'll see how that unfolds for the rest of the Grand Prix. Roby is in second position, and I guess I can check the simulation settings. That's right. So yeah, so car damage rate is off apparently. So I don't know why that's happened, but yeah, do we not have like things saved or whatever? But anyway, I don't know. I don't know what that. Ask Matteo what that is, because we don't do the adminning. We don't make the decisions here. And it is Roby in second position at the moment, under pressure from Liam Stevens. And let's just see if. Yeah, let's just see what's being said in chat, if anything is being said in chat. Talk us through what's going on with Roby, Alfie.
So he's losing loads of time to front and behind, and he seems to be struggling. That ARS usage at the start didn't seem to help at all. So yeah, it could be in a lot of trouble here from the McLaren, and yeah, I think damage is off. So as long as there's good racing, yeah.
Yeah, so we've had a couple of problems with lobby today because the person who's meant to host pulled out late. But yes, I think TTV Jet isn't here because he's an AI. And we'll just see what's said about that. Matteo hasn't replied to us on that one, so we'll just keep on commentating the race. Roby losing a whole host of time to the Lethal Sniper over the last few laps, and certainly looks like he's got a hold of that at the front of the Grand Prix. And we'll see if people will have to start fuel saving in the race.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a lesson learned next week for lobby settings, but yeah, either way, let's focus on the race, and yeah, hopefully we won't have another lobby restart. So
yeah, absolutely.
Who knows what Matteo would say? So yeah.
So Ali in fourth position here, closing down over the last few taps on the two cars ahead. I think Roby is really starting to suffer with those tyres. Ali will be quite thankful. He's just dipped over the DRS range. I wonder if he'll use a little bit of ERS just to dip back into it, because it's worth it with the time you gain through DRS. Kuipers, who was locked up behind these cars not too long ago, must have made a mistake because he's fallen back down the order. So from 5th to 6th position, he's lost a bit of time to Isio as well. So he must have made a mistake and recovered into 6th position. Dunkler Mike, who didn't even qualify, started last, is currently sitting in 7th position. So some consistent laps for him could earn him a whole host of points. Of course, points all the way down to 12th position in the league. And yeah, how you doing, Rody, by the way? How you doing today? Ready's just joined chat. And let's see, further down the order, Noddy is actually putting a bit of pressure on Sadar. So actually Sadar was quite far up quite recently, but Sadar is pitted. So I missed that. Sadar pitting off of those mediums on lap 10 and has actually gone on to a hard set of tyres.
Yeah, there was just yellow flags running around in sector 2. But there is now yellow flags, and Leipzig has decided to retire. Not too sure why. He's retired on the track, so that could mean a safety car will come out. So we'll see what the stewards think.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not Michael Massey anymore, so yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, I think if you hit start and retire, that very rarely actually brings a safety car out here. But we certainly have some cars that may be looking to fuel save later through the race because we're yet to have a safety car on lap 12. That doesn't mean one can't happen because damage is off. But I'm sure we'll see a few cars pit here. I wonder if Dunkel Mike will come into the pits at the end of this lap because he's certainly at the point where the tyres start to go off, or whether he'll try to cling on in the hopes of a safety car.
So yeah, as well, Liam Stevens or Ecstasy has lost loads of time actually to Roby in the Haas. So Liam will have to make up some time here. I think he is pushing a little bit here, and yeah, he's not using the curbs as much. So as you would expect, there's just a bit of a spark of lag there. Someone's gone off. I think that is LH44. Oh no, it's Timo Cooper's who has gone off and spun. So yeah, and he's gone and spun yet again. So that shows that now damage is not on. I think I do remember putting it on. I think it's just the game being stupid as usual. So
even if you got him wrong mistake-wise, it's not. Don't beat yourself about it. But Kuiper's clearly struggling with the heat in those tyres and just needs to take it a little bit easier. It's difficult with the no TC on through this X section at the best of times, and just very much struggling to keep it in a straight line. He'll get out of this section of track and be able to hopefully keep it under control to bring those tyre temps down. He does pick up a 3-second warning for going wide though, so not great from him. Liam Stevens in third position, so yeah, he has lost a bit of time to OP Roby. Roby and Liam are both absolutely pushing on their EOS, which is causing them to clippy. So is Ali, and it's only Issio out there with any kind of chunk of EOS charge at the moment. Where else? What else is going on field? I wonder if Kuipers has brought it to a stop on purpose, or no, he's just really struggling on traction. It's like his tyres have exploded or something. He's just massively struggling on traction out there. But it will be that his rear tyres are just absolutely boiling. That's what will have caused. Oh, he's just got. He's like he's on an ice skating rink. So Kuipers will be pretty infuriated in that he was running quite far up the order, but he's just been lapped by the lethal sniper, and I think that will be his chances of any kind of points today out of the question. Of course, points scored all the way down to 12th position. He didn't get fastest lap, so he didn't get a point for that. He may be able to score a fastest lap of the Grand Prix if he can get back to the pits, but you know what you can do when it's doing this? I don't know if it's particularly allowed, but you can just hit start and let the AI do their thing, and I'm sure they won't spin out, and then just get back to the pits or something if you're spinning too much. I have no idea if that's allowed in the league rules, but it's certainly something I do. If I think, oh god, these tyres are too hot, I can't keep them from spinning, I just hit start for like half a lap to get me to the pits or wherever I need to get to. But Kuipers has returned to the pit here. And yeah, Rayleigh said that people might be running out of fuel towards the end of the race. I'll have a quick look at fuel actually, and look for any red indicators. Ali certainly has a red indicator, so does Anon. And who else has red indicators? Dunkel Mike will have a red indicator. So there certainly will have to be a bit of fuel saving in this race, especially if there is no safety car. Kuipers has retired from the race.
Yeah, I think he would have no chance now of any points. So yeah, he's 2 DNFs. So yeah, pretty much a shame to lose 2 quick drivers in the making. I think now it's just going to start getting boring. Like, no offense to the drivers, I think now is the time where everything starts settling down, strategy comes into play, and yeah, we won't be seeing any 2021 Abu Dhabi vibes anytime this race. So yeah, we'll see what happens. And yeah, and that's lethal into the pit stop as well. I think Roby will do the same as well. I think Roby's actually stayed out. No, he hasn't. Roby has not stayed out. I'm only checking on my mini map. So, yeah, will IQ stay out? No, he won't. So it will come into the pits as well. So the top 5 have from second to 5th have boxed. Just Ali has stayed out for another lap. So that's quite interesting because Lethal is going to have them cold tyres, but the problem is Just Ali is going to have the colder tyres coming out of the pit, so he will struggle.
Yeah, so it is quite a difficult set of corners to go through on cold tyres. You certainly lose a lot of grip. I wonder if Ali is going for the overcut here and will return to the pits this lap. He certainly seems to be using a lot of ERS and absolutely pushing all the way to the end. If he can have a perfect in-lap here, Ali could game himself a couple of positions over Liam Stevens and Roby, who were in front of him. I think Lethal Sniper was much too far away here, but it depends how much time those cars lose on their fastest laps here, and I think this is what Ali is aiming for. He's just going for the overcut and seeing if he can get the positions in the pits. So it'll be interesting here. Ali's absolutely rinsed his DRS, so I expect him to come into the pits here and try and get the overcut, certainly on the McLaren of Liam Stevens as he comes into the pits. Oh, really pushing. And has he got it slowed down in time? He does get it slowed down in time, so that was good stuff from Ali. And he does go into the pits. He'll be switching onto the medium compound tyre to take him to the end of the race. And I think, it's going to be mega tight on the exit of the corner with OP Roby coming around now. I think he's not done enough to jump OP Roby, but it's going to be very, very close between Ali and the McLaren here, and I think the McLaren has done enough to maintain that position. So that overcut not quite working, and to add insult to injury, Ali will also struggle through the next couple of sectors, so will lose time. So the gamble was to get in front and slow down the car behind as you try to get used to your tyres and hope they don't go for an ambitious move through the S section, but it didn't quite work out there for Ali. He lost only gained a handful of tenths of a second, and he needed to gain much more than that. So a good risk, I think, worth going for Ali, but it didn't work out for him in the end. He also has a penalty at the moment. Noddy has gone. Noddy's going very long. Some of the cars that started on hard tyres opting to go long here, and I think Noddy will hope there's a safety car. I don't know if he will realise that damage isn't on in the race. That, of course, makes it very difficult for a safety car to come out. Not impossible. If a car stops on track for long enough, then safety car can be triggered, even if there is no damage on the track. So Noddy will hope that something like that happens. And, as Rowley says, his fuel indicator, it's flashing, which means... what does flashing mean? I have no idea what flashing fuel indicator means, and I'm just trying to have a look at the live session to see if we have any kind of information for Ali. He has nearly 20 laps of fuel, so I think he's fine. I think he will be fine here, and it is disappearing. So I think it's fine. I think when it flashes red like that, it's like, oh, he's using too much fuel. It's a really bad indicator, Ali. Really. So, I won't worry about it. I think he's got about 20 laps of fuel. So I think he's doing okay. And isn't going to have to fuel save to the end. I don't see anyone who has shared that data who actually has any problems with fuel to the end at this point. So maybe everyone has done that fuel saving in the early part of this race, or didn't trim enough fuel out to need a safety car to come into play. Stone Knight is running in 12th position after pitting and has gone on to the medium tyre.
Yeah, I've just looked at his fuel, and it looks like he has 9 laps of fuel on my screen. So, yeah, it could be a bit of trouble for him.
9 laps?
It is 9. Yeah, it says he has 9 laps of fuel.
19. Surely it's to say 8.3 or something like that now. Because that's surely...
It definitely says 9 laps of fuel.
That's strange. Let's hope he doesn't have 9 laps of fuel. Otherwise, he is he is toast. Oh, well, actually, no, maybe it is 9 laps of fuel, actually. So maybe he is struggling. So, yeah, 20 laps of fuel will be way too much. So, yeah, maybe that's incorrect from the telemetry. And, yeah, maybe he'll have to do a bit of fuel saving. Now, he has a penalty that he needs to manage as well, but he's gone later onto those tyres than the car around him, and he has had pace in the early part of the race. Issue doesn't look like he's got any kind of fuel saving on board at the moment, so this could be quite a tactical challenge for Ali to maintain. I think if Ali can just get within DRS range of the car in front, which he has done, and Stevens is fast enough, then he can just use that DRS to lift and coast through the corners, and that means lifting off the accelerator and just allowing the fuel burn to be slightly less at the end of the straights when you spend most of the fuel when you're at the highest speed, and that can bring up your laps left indicator, and that can make it so you haven't underfueled. And Ali just catches a little bit of wheel spin on the exit of the hairpin, but does catch it crucially. So he's maintaining in 4th position here, and Ali's usually got good race pace, and I think he's gained a few positions through the race. Let's just see what the detail is on that. So he's gained position in the race. It's Issue who's the biggest gainer. Dunklamikas also up into 8th position in the race, so could pick up big points after starting last on the grid.
I can see just Ali coming around the final corner. He did cut the corner a little bit there. He's got that rear ring open, but he should have a chance on. I can't see whether it's the inside or the outside, but it's no chance anyway. He's a bit too far back. He must have had a little bit of contact with the McLaren. He must have rear-ended him a little bit, but there's some good ERS saving here as well from the Scuderia Ferrari. And the McLaren is flashing at the back, as I can see, as they come through the S section. And now it's all down to 130R, because this is a point now where you can't overtake unless you're doing me in ExA Division 2 like yesterday, where I sent it on pull diver into the hairpin. Is that the case this evening? I'm not sure. No, it's not the case. With 7 laps to go, it's too risky. Yes, a big snap of oversteer there, and yeah, he could be in a bit of trouble. He's now 5 tenths behind the McLaren as they go into Spoon Curve into one, and then down the straight into 130R as they now come through Spoon Curve. The exit, oh, gets a big chunk of oversteer there. He would have lost plenty of time, as now he's still gaining. He's got that slipstream, he's got that ERS, but he's not using it. He's only using the slipstream. He'll get that DRS either way, and Sternite gets a 3-second time penalty anyway, and he gets close to that rear of the McLaren as they now come round the final corner. Just Ali is going to have a chance into turn 1 as they come down the pit straight into turn 1. Has he got that straight line pace? He's going to go round the outside here. He does have that straight line pace, and he's going to go round the outside. Good defending there from Liam Stevens, aka ExA. So good battling between the Ferrari and McLaren for the Constructors' Championship lead.
Yeah, very, very close running in 5th position and 4th and 3rd position at this stage of the race. And actually, I think Ali needs to desperately get by Liam and form a gap, of course, because he has that penalty of 3 seconds. And if he can try and build a bit of a gap to get by and build a bit of a gap in the final few laps, and he does have a chance at a podium one. I think he's safe back to Issue, barring any big problems in the closing stages. So the Scarlet Ferrari absolutely pushing compared to Liam Stevens, who's very much on the back foot. Ali does have a little less EOS than Liam. That will help Liam defend into turn 1, which is the main overtaking opportunity. I wonder if Ali will think about a move into Casio. They'll go through 130R first, and then if the opportunity arrives, I think he'll maybe think about an overtake into the hairpin. He looks up the inside, thinks better off it, reopens up the corner, and he's a lot more confident through that final set of corners at Casio, down through the last curve, and Lee is very, very close behind. 2 tenths is the gap both cars on full deployment, and it will be around the outside again for Ali, and it as last time, doesn't get around, does he? No, he does manage to keep a couple of wheels in, but it's better traction on the exit of turns 2 from Liam Stevens, and good defensive work from the McLaren here. Both cars fighting for the Constructors' Championship. Of course, ExA in 4th place in the championship, looking to pick up as many points as possible, but this battling is allowing OP Roby just to pull away in the final stage of this race. All the top 5 running medium tyres. Lethal Sniper has showed absolute pace throughout the race to maintain the race lead, and actually let's have a look at the fastest lap. It is the Lethal Sniper, so he has half a chance of a Grand Chelem here. No, he doesn't, because of course Ali led through the pit stop phase, so he did lead for 1 lap, Ali, so it's not going to be a Grand Chelem, but it's as close to as possible. Almost lights the flag, but Ali just sneaked in ahead during the pit stop period to try and, ooh, big moment for Ali. Big lock of oversteer out of Spoon, and that will put pay to his chances of 3rd position, and it could put him on the back foot for 4th. No, it can't, because Isio has picked up a penalty. So if Isio had kept it a little bit more clean, then he would have been able to maybe keep within that 3-second barrier, and Ali just pushing a little bit too far out of Spoon, trying to keep as close as possible to the McLaren to line up the overtake all the way down to Castillo, and it did not pay off for him. Anon has retired from the race. So actually, I mean, I don't know. I don't think TTV Jesters will count because he's AI, but everyone could be scoring points here. Of course, points all the way down to 12th place. What was your view of that mistake from Ali there?
It was pretty crucial to his race. Well, it was crucial in a bad way. So yeah, he would have lost. Obviously, he's lost a chunk of time to the McLaren. So he's got to hope that the McLaren is going to make a big mistake. But either way, he's not going to claim that podium unless he pushes really hard, because he's got a 3-second time penalty anyway, and he's used quite a bit of his battery now. He's saving up until he catches up, but I doubt he can catch up now. And there's a yellow flag running around in sector 1, which is Noddy. So yeah, this will be very interesting toward the end, but I can't see him getting close to that P3. But he's got a penalty anyway, so yeah, we won't be touching the podium tonight.
Yeah, he unless there's a mistake from a car ahead, it's very unlikely that Ali will pick up the podium, and I think he'll be contented with 4th position, but a bit disappointed that things didn't transpire his way. Closest on track at the moment is still this this trio of drivers of Liam, Ali and Isio, and I think it was potentially a mistake there from... No, there wasn't a mistake, but Dunkler Mike is in 8th position, and he has gained up some good places, and let's have a look who's lapping faster than who at this stage of the race. I think Dunkler Mike, who's running in 8th position, is lapping a little bit faster than the cars, actually a little bit slower than the cars around him, so must have made a mistake on that last lap, but no, he's running quicker. It was Robin who actually made a mistake. Robin lost, is losing chunks of time actually. Robin really struggling at this moment. He did say he wanted to come back and fight for a race win maybe, but I think he was saying with a little bit of tongue-in-cheek. Noddy is actually retired in the pit, so Noddy decided he can't race anymore as Robin spins in Sector 1, so very much struggling with overheated tyres. We also have a spinner of Stone Knight in the final sector, and I don't know what he is doing. He seems very stopped on track, which I think he's just struggling. He's gone onto a soft pair of tyres, and overheating the tyres is what's going on in this race. We saw it from Timo Kuipers earlier. We saw it from Robin just there, overheating the tyres through the S section. And we have yellow flags everywhere on track, but there's no safety car, of course. So, yes, Ali is closed back down to Liam Stevens. This will actually frustrate Ali, because Ali will recognise that he has the pace to have pushed past Liam and got a 3-second gap on him, which would of course given him the podium. That will frustrate him massively. Look at the amount of time that Ali is taking out Liam through the S section. So much more confidence for the Ferrari driver through that section of track. And Ali will be very, very frustrated that he didn't get the job done early. We have 2 laps left of running. It's Little Sniper who basically not followed on board with him since the early stages of this race. He's led with such pedigree and skill, being class apart from the drivers behind. Roby's had a firm grip of second place since making that mistake on the hard tyres in the first stint, and Liam in third position under pressure from Ali, but Ali just not having the pace to get round Liam, making that mistake and fell behind. Now gaining that time back, but it's too late to gap him once he got past anyway. Even if he got past on this lap, I think it's too late to pull out a 3-second gap over the final cup of laps. Who's been your driver of the day, Alfie?
Oh, it's been a very hard one because there's not much has gone on, but I'll just give it to the race leader of Little. He's done very well to keep on the limit, no penalties, and yeah, he's done extremely brilliantly just to keep that lead. Will he get up to 10 seconds though? That is the main question. Then if he gets up to 10 seconds, he well and truly deserves driver of the day. But the Williams, he's conquered from start to finish, from every lap in qualifying to every lap in the race, even before the red flag and even after the red flag. So fair play to him. He's my driver of the day for tonight.
Absolutely. And Ali has closed right back up onto the back of Liam, and Liam is going to have to put up a bit of a defensive masterclass to keep Ali behind now, because Ali will have felt the pace over the last few laps and know how quick he is on the circuit, so he'll be able to get even closer, I reckon. Of course, you have the wake of the dirty air of the car in front that will slow you down a little bit, but I think Ali will go for it onto the final lap. Maybe he won't, because maybe he'll recognise there's no way I'm gaining that time anyway, or maybe he'll think I'm going to protest my penalty anyway, and I could absolutely get that place on track, and that would become permanently on track if the penalty were removed. So we don't know, and Ali gets very, very close into the final corner. That pushes Liam defensive and will push him offline through Casio, and now Ali will be right behind the McLaren driver. McLaren driver does have a little bit more ERS than Ali, but right behind he is, and he'll try to go around the outside. And as he goes around the outside, he gets the job done on the final corner. Does he? No. Liam just about hangs it in there, and Liam manages to maintain that place. So some smart defensive work, hugging the inside, and Liam and Ali racing wheel to wheel on the final lap. Good stuff from both of them. Alfie says that he would say the driver of the day was Ali, and that would be another very, very good shout. I think Isio also has had a quiet race, but has made up quite a number of positions to get into 5th position, and I think those 3 would be driver of the days contenders, when they Little, Ali, and Issue.
Right then, Little is coming through 130R now. If you want to do the honours and
we'll have the final moments of this Grand Prix. Little's led practically every lap of the Grand Prix, 26 of the 27 laps. Got pole position by a big chunk. Was disappointed to finish where he was in Bahrain, but will be delighted with the race win at Suzuka. It's been his day today, and he'll be delighted with that for the Williams team. Pick up big points. Roby comes home in second. It's a lot better than in the original lobby where he crashed out. So lucky red flag for him, saved his blushes. In third position is Liam Stevens, who manages to just hold off from Ali. There was a bit of weaving left and right. A bit Charles Leclerc-esque, I would say, from Liam around the final corner, desperately clinging on for the track position. Something I don't think he necessarily needed to because of the points, but it's Ali in 4th, Issue in 5th, who's spun across the line, LH44 in 6th, 7th is Sidar, Dunkler Mike, who started at back, he comes in 8th, and that's the end of the Grand Prix. 9th for Robin, and 10th for the AlphaTauri of, it wasn't Anon, who was the other AlphaTauri? I can't quite remember, we'll see it in a second, of course, but congratulations to the Williams drivers of Little and Dunkler picking up the win and the driver of the day in game at least. I don't think he'd be the driver of the day out of the game, but it's good stuff from the Williams boys. And yeah, should we do post-race interviews after this? I think there'll be a few questions asked about about the damage off thing. Robin, it was a mistake. It was a mistake. It shouldn't have been off, but we have to roll with it by the time it was realised. So yeah, we'll I'm sure we'll have a complete review of what happened with the lobbies after the race as part of the admin procedures after the race. I'm sure that will get looked at. But it was Lethal Sniper who won the race, and 10th position was TTV Jetters, who I think he was AI for the whole race, so I don't actually think he he will keep that. I don't know how the rules work, but yeah, he certainly was AI for the most of the race. So that's the end of this. So yeah, so Robinson couldn't come back because I was 40 seconds behind everyone. Yeah, well that is the problem with there's no safety cars, and I will quickly transfer over and set up a stage for the race. So I'll quickly just jump out of the call I am in with Alfie and move it over to the stage. If people want to join me, so start the stage. Post-race interviews for ExPlay D1. And yeah, so if people want to join me for post-race interviews, feel free to do so, and I'll pull in my co-commentator, so he is part of it. And let's pull in Dunkler Mike from the to talk through his last to 8th drive. If you want to come and join in, Dunkler, where are you? Do you want to join in, Dunkler? Yeah, Dunkler. You know, some good driving there to carve through the field. Take us through it, because of course you missed qualifying and joined in after the red flag session. What was your goal there?
I just missed the qualifying session, the whole of it, so I had to start from the back of the grid, and yeah, I was pretty confident whatever I will pick up from the race, it's gonna be better than what joining in at all. And it finished with a P8. That was, I mean, the last two races I finished P7 both. This time without the qualifying, I ended up P8. So I guess could be worse.
Yeah, no, yeah, I think that was a decent drive from you. Of course, your teammate Lethal Sniper picking up the wing. Are you happy with the points that you've picked up for Williams today?
Yeah, happy. Could be happier if I could do better today. But that's decent amount of point for the team, for the constructors.
Yeah, well, thank you very much for joining the post-race interviews. I don't think we're going to get anyone else here today. I think people, yeah, we haven't had any of the podium people come and join in, so I think we'll curtail our coverage of the event today. So any final remarks, Alfie? Nope. I can't hear Alfie. So, yeah, right. We'll end that there. Thank you very much for joining in. Of course, we have the Choco League. I think that's being moved to Sunday this week, on Sunday, and join us back for ExPlay D2 and D1 next week, where we are at Imola, I believe. I believe we're at Imola next week, which will be an exciting one. I've just completely guessed that, so I'll jump into the calendar and find out where we are. We are at Zandvoort next week, and then it's Imola the week after. Almost got it right. So Zandvoort next week, Imola the week after. Please join us then, and thank you very much for watching along.